Oh, good. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to our annual pajama party. This is the KnitChat Cafe. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And I am in Southwestern Ontario, Canada. And Kelly, you are?
In Chilliwack, BC, Western Canada.
Right. So it's actually evening for me, but it's not evening for Kelly.
It's 4 o'clock here. Yes.
So I am in pajamas.
I am in pajamas also. And we are in our elf hats that you knit. And Merry Twixtmas. That's a new term this year. Have you heard that one yet?
In between. I have heard that. In between. Yeah. So welcome to everybody. We hope you had and are still having a wonderful holiday.
Yes.
You know, like for me at least, things have calmed down a little bit. So and I mean, I can't go too far, so it's not like I can hop in the car and go anywhere anyway, but I did get to go out to the coffee shop yesterday, which was wonderful. And there was 7 or 8 of us there. So that was nice. Good. And yeah, coffee shop was a little bit quieter. And yesterday, the weather here was like spring. So, okay. I mean, the sun was out in the afternoon. Ross said our thermometer outside was reading 20 Celsius. Like it wasn't 20, but with the sun shining on the thermometer. So, but it's supposed to get cold again. So
the sun was out here too. And then I blinked and it was gone. And I think I missed it after that. But no, it's, I'm into my second week of heavy rain. So I'm actually in pajamas because we spent the earlier part of today at the zoo, the Vancouver Zoo, which is in Abbotsford. I don't know why it's called the Vancouver Zoo, but it's in Abbotsford. And we went there and it was raining a little bit when we left. And our motto is rain doesn't stop us. But by the time we got there, it was raining a lot, but we were on our way. So we hiked through that zoo for about 2 hours in the rain. There was no part of me that was not wet. My hair, I had on my faithful green llama hat, and it got so wet at the front that I started to get rivers coming down here. So I had to flip it around, and I got the dry part at the front. Everything was good, but you know, it was still fun. We saw lots of animals. Miles enjoyed himself, and he's up now taking a little nap from all the excitement.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think rain bothers kids nearly as much as it bothers us.
Oh, it didn't bother him because he was in a stroller and then he was covered up with his dad's like super woolly jacket and then he had a roof over him. Why would it be bothering him?
Well, even when they're outside in the rain, they don't seem to be as bothered by it as that's when we get to be adults. We want to be nice and dry. We don't want our hair to get wrecked.
That's right. Barb's asking if I have grown my wet coast gills yet. I swear, you know, we should do a check. I think there's gills in there for sure. It's been a lot of rain, of rain.
Yeah. And that's even the winter here. It's when I say I like the snow, it's not even so much that I like the snow. I just get tired of the gray. Yeah. Like everything just being like not bright. And at least when it's snow, it seems a little bit brighter outside.
Yes.
But anyways, welcome everybody. We're so glad that you're joining us here tonight.
This is exciting.
It is exciting. So you know, we're happy to celebrate with you, and I'm going to be celebrating here in a minute. So I'm going to open this so we can have a little cheers. Hopefully I won't have to go call Ross this time. But he's on standby. He's on standby just in case.
You should have done a pre-open.
I brought this just in case.
Okay. Very good.
We'll see.
So
perfect.
There you go. I like that sound. So today, this, you know, yes, our PJ party, this is also our last podcast for 2024.
I know.
And something about that feels it's a little melancholy. I don't know.
I just remember all the hype around 2000.
Right.
That's 24 years ago now.
I know.
Like
today, at the zoo. There is a pair of bald eagles, and both of them are rescues. They were injured in car accidents, so they're not able to be released. But one of them has been there, Meredith, has been there since 1999.
Wow.
And at first when I read that, I thought, oh, that doesn't seem so bad, until I got thinking, and that's 25 years. Meredith has been at the zoo for 25 years.
Wow.
Wow. And the 80s are like super old now. Like I was an 80s teenager, and that's eons ago now. But anyway, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy how time flies. But this year has gone by very quickly too.
To 2024. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah, so
yes, you're right. Rosie says only 12 more months to go before we do this again. Yes, Christmas again. Yes.
And I just want to say, you know, maybe you had a great 2024, maybe you had a not so great 2024, but I just want to say whatever 2024 was like, I hope your 2025 is 100 times better.
Better. Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Regardless. So if it was really good, you're going to have an amazing year. So
do you, you know, some people think about a word to embody the coming year.
Live.
A couple of years ago,
enjoy.
I know that a couple of years ago, my word was joy, and it ended up being not the most joyful year. So I just did a little thing on Instagram today, though, on our way home in the car. And it said the first 3 words that you see. And the first 3 words that I saw, it's all of these words, were strength, change, and miracles. So I thought if those 3 words have anything to do with 2025, I'm in good shape. So I'm just going to go with that. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, Carmen said knit and party. I can go with that.
Knit and party. Yes. Yes, absolutely. And we are not that far away, Noelle, from our first knitting event of the year already. I was thinking about that the other day too. Is this the first one in Montreal? Oh, weekend.
Well, that's still 5 months.
It's not that far away.
Well, I know time goes by super fast. So
Annie says her word is focus. That's a great word, Annie. I need a little bit of that too. For sure I do. Absolutely. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, there's been a lot of people asking about our hats.
Yes.
So I do have a banner for them. So they are the Christmas Elf Stocking Cap by Tara Marie. And if you go on to Ravelry, you can buy a paid for version, which is no ads, but there's also a link that you can go into her blog and you can actually get the pattern free. And it actually goes from like newborn up to like a man's large. So, and it's done. I just did these ones in loops and threads, impeccable. So it's a worsted weight yarn. So they knit up fairly quickly. And I think we've had this since the first pajama party.
I think so. And I have to say, they are unbelievably soft. Mm-hmm. Really, really soft. It's a very soft yarn. So it would be great to do for things like hats that get very wet.
Yes. Yeah.
I was thinking about that when I took my wet hat off when I got home today. How many times it's been blocked since I got here. I block it daily.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a great pattern. It works up really quite quickly. And you know, like it looks, you can even put your hair in braids and it looks like it. I decided to do the Nana Gnome hairstyle for today. Yes. This is the Nana Gnome hairstyle. Yeah, so I definitely recommend it. They would have been cute. I guess I hadn't even thought about it before. It would have been cute to have a little one for Oliver.
Yes.
And I think I bought 3 balls of yarn to do this. I think there's still lots left. Would
some leftovers.
To do a baby size.
I remember I had made one for Miles too when he was a baby. So very cute. Okay, here's another great word. Sweater Weather says, also a great name. Sweater Weather says her word for 2025 is create. Fantastic word. That's a great word. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well,
what's our agenda? We should get into.
Well, I do have a few finishes. Oh, I do have a few things I want to show you that I got for Christmas.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we do? Okay. We have a lot of things to give away tonight.
Yes.
So why don't we do this first?
We'll do this first. I only have a few little things so I don't know if you can see. I'll have to turn them around.
Oh my gosh, is that a hedgehog?
Yes. So Jacqueline made these in pottery. So they're so cute.
Adorable.
So she made that. And then she also made these little ornaments.
Oh, I love that.
So there's little kitties and there's little candy canes and some holly leaves. And then she does it on this dark clay, which turns out really cute.
It is really cute.
Yeah, she's really, really liking pottery.
Julia wants to know if she could make us a possum.
Oh, I'm going to ask her.
I bet she could.
Good idea, Julie. I bet she could. So, and then the other thing I got in my stocking, I got these little Tri-Mag magnets.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the really strong ones. So I'm getting Ross to make me these little clips that you can put on your, like that one's just sparkly, but it's got they're so strong. These magnets are so strong. But then you can put, I'll just show it to you on here, but you can put it on like your shawls or see?
Oh, okay. Yes, to hold things together.
So it could be like a little shawl pin so he's going to do me a few. I just picked out some buttons.
Okay.
And so that one's just glitterly, but the magnets are super strong. And so instead of having to put like a pin or something through your shawl, you can just do the little magnet thing. So like he just bought that, I think that was a box of maybe 50 magnets. So you need 2 of them to do it, right? To attach it together. So one of your magnets just goes out on the inside, but they are super strong. We had actually seen these, Tracy and I had seen these in, I can't remember whether it was in Greece or whether it was in Montenegro. And they had them on silk shawls so that you could just drape it around and not have to pin or tie your shawl. You could just put the little magnet on it to keep it in place. Yeah. So they'd be perfect for your knit shawls or your little Sophie scarves to keep it in place instead of tying the knot in it. But super easy to make. So, okay. And then the last thing I'm going to show from Christmas is Rachel and Curtis got me this. So this is Thread and Maple.
Thread and Maple.
And this is... I don't have the binder. I might be looking at the binder, but you can get these little, so this is like a project portfolio thing. So you can stick in like your stitch markers, all your needles. There's a place for your cables in the back here for your needles. So you can put everything that you need for one project. Then if you're throwing it into your bag to go, you can just push that in. It's also got little snaps on the outside that you can take off and put over so that everything stays in your little portfolio. And this is just an absolutely gorgeous, like dark burgundy leather, and it just feels like amazing.
And it will feel better and better as you use it.
As it ages.
A little, I don't know what it's called, but I have that little set that has the needles or the scissors and the darning needles in it. And I love to carry that with me. I think that's really, really good. So
Barb says you need to be careful with the magnets and iPhones or pacemakers. Well, I don't have a pacemaker, so not yet. Hopefully never.
Watch that iPhone. Okay, I'm reading other words. There's some great words. I saw courage. I saw declutter, donate. That was a good one too. A few other great words in there.
Yeah. Appreciate.
Self-care. Oh, well, Alice, then you'll be happy to hear what we've got coming up with you for our next Makealong too. Yeah. That ties right in. Okay. So before we go on, we do have a prize winner to announce from the Show Us Your Pajamas. Yes.
So we had 39 pictures in there. And so the winner is going to receive this bag, one of these bags that Kelly made, which is absolutely gorgeous. And it is the curly sort of fuzzy fleecy.
Sherpa.
Is that what it's called? Sherpa?
Yeah, it's like a Sherpa. Mm-hmm.
Okay, in a burgundy color. It is the perfect sock size. I've been using mine constantly. So we've got one of those, and the winner is, first of all, I just did a random number generator from 2 to 40, and it picked number 16, and number 16 was...
Oh, Marnie.
It's Marnie. Yep.
Yes.
So Marnie Lee. So congratulations, Marnie. You have won this amazing bag that Kelly made, and you'll be able to put your socks in it. And thanks for sending in your picture. Thanks to everybody that sent in pictures. It was so nice to go through and see everybody knitting in their pajamas. And I mean, I'm sure all of us knit in our pajamas at some time or another. So we will put a thing up later after we've done some of the prizes to tell you where you can contact us so that you can claim your prize. So I better set things aside. I didn't bring a pen, but
I'm doing.
I'll go back and look. I'll set.
That.
Okay.
There's not a lot of things I can do right now, but right with my left hand, I can do that.
Okay.
So,
were you able to knit at all?
okay. So I picked up knitting last night. I knit 2 rows in garter stitch on a child's sweater. Took me half an hour, but I knit 2 rows.
Oh.
So I'm knitting continental, and instead of using like these 2 fingers to hold my yarn, I'm actually using these 2 fingers, like in a scissor motion to hold my needles in place. So instead of putting the needles between my thumb and my finger, which is tricky, that's a tricky move. So I've been holding my needle in here and then knitting continental with the other hand. So it's a very strange flow. It doesn't go quickly, but anyway.
Does it hurt while you're doing it?
No, it wasn't hurting at that point in time. It's
Okay.
hurting a whole lot today. It was hurting a whole lot yesterday, but then it kind of eased up last night. So, yeah, so I'm in a half cast, and so it's like cast here, but this is just soft. So I can take it off for showering and things like that. But I have been behaving and leaving it. I could take it off and knit. That's what I could do, but I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to do that. So what I have is a fractured scaphoid bone in my hand. So it's that thumb motion that's really triggering the pain. So this keeps the thumb from coming out altogether, and that's it. And as for what I did, I don't know. It started hurting a while ago. The pain was getting worse. I don't know if the straw that broke the camel's back was the little tumble with Miles at his school last week. I don't know if it's just a stress fracture. Too much Christmas knitting, maybe small knitting, maybe those 3 nanas. I don't know. But anyway, I've never had hand pain from knitting before. And I'm a bit of a grumpy Gus because I have things I want to finish. I have Miles' sweater here that I really
And
wanted.
it's raining. It's
And
raining.
it's raining. It's perfect knitting time. So I really wanted to be knitting, but I'm going to find a way around it. So in place of knitting, I've been doing a lot of yarn shopping to be ready for when I can knit again. But I also think I'm a left-handed crocheter. So I'm pretty confident that I could do some crocheting. So once I get home and I get back to my stash and my crochet hooks in hand, then I really think I can do something like that. And then maybe moving forward, maybe some kind of a hand brace on this hand just to keep things steady. I don't know, but we'll see. We will see how it goes. But right now it's slow going. And I find there's a lot of things that I can't do, and it's super irritating. But
I know, it's amazing.
So we are a great pair. Noelle is in
you can't use your hand, and I can't walk.
I can't. Yeah, but I'm the worst nightmare. Like, at least you don't.
I would, you know what? I would rather not be able to walk.
That's right. I know you would.
No, I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that. I just, if some part of my body has to be hurt, I would prefer it not be my hands.
Not to be your hands. I know. It is really hard. And it's how much we take for granted. That's, I guess, the hardest part. You've learned that twice over now with your foot surgeries. I'm learning that definitely. And it's the small little things, like buttoning up a pair of blue jeans when you can't maneuver one hand, because you really kind of need 2 hands to do a pants button. And of course, this is the hand I would do the zipper with, right? So now I'm trying to do the zipper backwards. So dressing is very slow. Bathrooms are very slow.
So what hand is it?
It's my right hand.
Right hand. Okay. But you're left-handed.
I'm left-handed, but I do most things with my right hand. That's the weirdness. So, but anyway, maybe by the end of this, I will be a full out continental knitter. Who the heck knows? And maybe that's more ergonomic anyway. So, but yeah, it's hard. You know, when I want to do something with my hair, anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. Enough. I'm not going to complain anymore.
I actually moved to a walking cast, or not a walking cast, but a walking boot. And I mean, I still can't go around really quickly, but just to be able to, I can actually get up, put the boot on, go to the washroom, and not have to put the leg on, go to the bathroom, take the leg off, put the leg back on, go back to. So you're right. Like some just simple little things. You don't realize how much you take them for granted.
It's a lot of time. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to learn. That should be my word of the year, should be patience, because that's what
I know that is impossible for me.
Yes. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
here's what
Well,
I did. I will say, okay, one last thing. Here's what I did do. I picked up a physical book again. So it's been a while since I've had a physical book in my hand because as you know, I do a lot of audiobooks. So while I was here, and I also, okay, I'll say about the book first. So my son-in-law had this great book that he had been telling me about when I was here in the summer, and he held on to the novel for me. And it's funny. It's like foreshadowing because when I got here, he said, "Oh, I saved this book for you." He said, "I know that you don't read physical books so much anymore. You do audiobooks, but I thought, you really seemed interested and maybe you would read this." And I said, "Oh, I will. I will take it home. Who knows when I'll get a chance to pick it up." Well, here's when I got a chance to pick it up on Boxing Day. Firstly, when I spent the day in the ER to get this dealt with, here's the second thing I wanted to say. The Chilliwack ER care is fantastic. They are amazing people there. They are very caring. It did not take very long either. And it's not that it was an emergency. There was no acute emergency, but I also knew that I couldn't just leave it until I got home and saw a doctor and everything. That was going to be too much time passed. It was hurting too much. So I did go in, and they were very efficient and very quick. So I started the book, and the book that I'm reading is called The Fireman by Joe Hill, and who is the son of Stephen King. It's not a horror book, but my goodness, is it good? I am so into. I am deep into it again. So there we go. Okay.
Okay. So I think we should get the prizes started. So maybe actually, since we already showed your bag, maybe we'll start off with that will be first. And some of these prizes, and we'll go through them after. Some of the prizes we're giving away tonight, and then some of them we have kind of duplicates of that we will put, that you will be able to enter a comment under the video after it's posted, and then we'll draw them we'll draw them before the next live chat, which will be January 7th.
Yes. Next year.
Yes. Will be next year, next year. So, but I'll just show you the ones now that are actually for tonight. So the first thing that we're going to give away then is this bag of Kelly's that, again, perfect sock size bag. This one just has a little bit different trim up the top than the first one. This is a really beautiful gold holly print up at the top. And then the bag's lined inside with like a plain canvas. So it's easy to see your things inside it. And it's got the drawstring so you can close it up when you're going somewhere. So you know you're not going to lose your socks or your needles out of it. So all we want you to do this time is we want you to go in and we want you to type in #KnitChat. So we'll let that run for a while, and there will be other prizes through the night. So you really only have to go in and you only have to put in the #KnitChat one time.
Yes, we will remind you throughout the knit chat to keep, if you haven't already entered it, we'll remind you to put it in, but you only have to enter, like you can only enter it one time, and then the prize picker will keep picking from there. So you only need to enter one time, but we will jog your memory throughout the evening.
Yep. Okay. So
someone had asked if
no, go ahead.
About the bag. Somebody had asked if I used a pattern. I did not. It's just a basic little boxy pattern, and then I added the top to it. It's similar to a bag that I had actually bought from Button Jar Studios when we went to Rhinebeck a couple of years ago, and I really used that one a lot. I liked it, so I definitely took some inspiration from that bag. It's pretty similar. The other thing that I used my little bag for was to keep all of my nanas in it when I was knitting. It was the perfect size for that too. It's good for socks, but it's also good for small projects. And my inspiration behind it, because I made one of those bags for each member of our little knit group that we knit with on Saturdays, because I had so much fun doing the Advent project last year. And I had kept my little Advent socks in a winter themed bag. And that way I would just grab that bag out every month when I was doing my little bit for my socks. So I thought maybe this would inspire more people to join in with an Adventy project if they had a perfect little Adventy bag to use. So
and it is perfect. So, okay. So we'll let that go for a couple more minutes, and maybe we'll talk about, did you finish anything?
No. Probably won't be for a while either.
Okay, well,
so you better keep knitting on, because you're going to be carrying the podcast for us, just so you know.
I finished couple of things, but they're just little Christmassy things. So I don't have them anymore, but I do have some pictures of them.
Okay.
So the first thing that I had to finish absolutely positively for sure before Christmas was another little, okay, just a minute here. Okay, it's not letting me switch again. Can you go back to?
Yeah. Oh, we thought that was fixed.
I thought that was fixed, but it's not. It's on the pictures.
Okay. There you
go.
Okay,
so the first thing I had to finish was one of those little flat cats. So I did another one. And so this is the Inside Cat by Anna.
Oh, look at the bandana on that one.
So this one was for Isla. So she actually named him Bandit because he's wearing a bandana.
Love it. Love it.
So the kids really like them. And this one, you can personalize them a little bit, right? So for this one, I actually held 2 different colors of a single ply fingering weight yarn together to get that little marled effect. So he still kind of looks like cat colors.
Yeah.
And then I thought to do something a little different, I just knit a little tiny bandana for him. So the kids really like them. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing even just a couple more. They're actually fun. They work up fast. They only take a little tiny bit of stuffing up in the head of the cat, and they are a perfect way to use up little leftovers.
Absolutely. How many grams does it use up?
Less than 10.
Perfect.
So, and then the other things that I finished were a couple more baubles, but I had talked last week about you could take like a sock yarn pattern and use the pattern repeat from it. So this first one was done with leftover timber yarns in their marled sock yarn. And the pattern that I used, you can see it kind of goes a little bit wavy. The pattern that I used was, it's a pattern by Olivia of This Handmade Life. And I believe it was something about spring. I can't remember offhand, but it was just like, it had kind of a little wave pattern in it. Dreaming of Spring, I think it was. Okay. So that's the first one. And then the other one that I did again was a pattern of hers. This I did with some hand spun yarn, and this pattern was First Snow. So you can just take the pattern that goes around like the leg of a sock and you can put it in the middle of the bauble pattern. So it makes them kind of fun to knit when you've got like a different pattern for all of them. Mm-hmm. And those would be a perfect, if you were getting like a sock advent calendar, you would have enough yarn from your advent calendar every day to do a different bauble every day.
Absolutely.
That would be a really good way to use up your sock yarn advent. So, yeah. So anyway, so they were fun. So maybe we should go in now and draw our first prize. So I'll put this back and I'll go out and I will hit. So we have 388 entries. Good luck, everyone.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a while.
Yay.
Crystal Emerson.
Crystal. Okay, so our first winner of the night is Crystal Emerson. So Crystal, you will win this lovely bag that Kelly made. Congratulations. And stay tuned, everybody, for some other giveaways.
Okay.
So, okay. So did you have anything that you worked on this week? The sweater.
2 rows on the sweater. I don't even think I brought it down here with me because it looks pretty much like it did when I showed it to you last week with 2 extra rows. Yeah.
Okay.
What did you work on? I know.
I did a swatch. Can you believe it?
No.
Well, then I went on to knit, but I did do a swatch. So Kelly and I were lucky. We had a lovely viewer that gifted us Knitted in yarn earlier this year. Mm-hmm. And I have just been itching to cast it on, but I was busy with things that had to get done. But I've been itching to cast it on. So I thought, okay, this is it. This is the time. So I did a little swatch, and the Knitted in that I'm using is this color, which I think is called like Yarn Villa or something. But it's such a pretty, like you can't even see all the depth of the color that's in it. It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And so I did a swatch. So first I started with the Knitted in. The very top of that is the Knitted in held double, but also with a strand of this Ito Sensei mohair, silk mohair in the color Coke.
Very nice.
So up at the top, you can see that was on a 6mm needle, and I had a pattern in mind, and this was just a little bit too thick for it. So then in the middle, I stayed on the 6mm needle, but I dropped one strand of the Nutiden and just did one strand. Well, I liked it better, but it was a little bit loose. So then I went down to a 5mm needle with the one strand of Nutiden and the one strand, and I really liked that. So I am doing the Dunes cardigan by Kadri.
Oh, that's very nice. I like that.
So yes, I really like the cardigan, and I thought this would be a perfect color for it. So, and I'm absolutely, oh, I should leave that up. I'm absolutely loving it. So I have
oh wow, that looks so good.
It just feels like amazing. I think that the two colors together, like you would never think.
Yeah.
Like that color's quite dark, and then this is quite a bit lighter.
Yes.
But the two of them together just blend
really well.
So nicely.
I love doing it on when you blend two yarns together. I really like that.
So I'm kind of into the pattern part here, but just really liking it. I'm finding I was a little bit worried. Like I'm not calm. So I was a little worried that I'd be pulling this apart, but I just find I kind of set it down and I just unroll the amount that I need. I do find that it's really good held with the mohair because it kind of gives it some substance to hold it together.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
But I am
so Robin
just
was asking
loving
how it was knitting with the Nutiden.
Yeah. So now you know what?
Question.
When I did the swatch, I actually found it harder to have two strands of the Nutiden going. Just because you're trying to pull two different things and you're not sure which one you're pulling on. But once I switched to like the one strand with the strand of mohair, I didn't find it difficult at all. I think maybe in the whole thing twice, I've kind of pulled it apart, but you can easily splice the Nutiden back together. Yes. So I did that. And
I think that's the standing joke about Nutiden is how much spit is in every project. How much spit is in it,
yeah.
Yes.
So I want to knit everything with Nutiden. So I was on their website. I didn't order, but I was on the website and I'm like, oh, there's such gorgeous colors. There might be more of this in my future. I'm thinking of all these things now that I could knit with it. And I do absolutely like it. And so far I have used one skein of the Ito, which I dropped on the floor, but it is a 20-gram skein and there's 262 yards in it. So far, I've just finished the first one. I'm ready to start the second one. And I think I've used maybe 50 grams of the Nutiden. So this sweater is going to weigh like next to nothing, but I think it's still going to be warm. Yeah. And with the two strands, that's what I was worried about. I thought, you know what, that's going to be so warm. I'm never going to wear it. So I just feel like it would be too, for me, because I tend to run warm, I would just find that would be too hot. So I'm really happy with the combination of the one strand of mohair and one strand of Nutiden. And I mean, look at those stitches, how well I could easily stick a needle in and pick those back up again. And I don't have anything in those stitches. So it's so easy to work
Vanda
with.
was wearing one day at the coffee shop a sweater that I absolutely love. The name of it escapes me now, but it had this beautiful kind of like a stand-up collar a little bit. Okay. Like it's like a boat neck collar, but it stood up a little bit. So it was really, really gorgeous on her. It reminded me of the kind of sweater, and I told her this too. I said, you have a very Katharine Hepburnish vibe going today. And I thought, oh, I would love to make that sweater. And then I thought, oh, I've got all that Nutiden, and that's what she used. So I think that was going to be one of my cast-ons.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. Thank you, Julia. It was Sunday Morning by Sandra Yarns. It was an amazing.
Oh, that's the name of the sweater. Okay. I'll have to look that up. Because I do. It's amazing. Like when you start knitting with that, you will love it. So. Okay. Yes. And then I also have to find, I did have another, I have so many things sitting around here.
You can't actually buy the Nutiden in Canada. You have to buy it from their website directly. As far as I know, I don't believe that they retail to any stockists at all. I think it is all directly from their website. So.
Okay. So the next thing I started was just a little tiny pair of the newborn socks again, because Oliver is really liking them, so I thought he should have some more pairs.
Is he telling you that?
He is telling me that. So they are I don't have a banner, but they're the perfect newborn socks by Tabitha Gandy. again, this is, so I'm kind of like, this time I've kind of gone, I think that it's a free pattern, so I can tell you, but the pattern has 32 stitches. I'm up to 36 for him. I like to do the leg long enough so that you can kind of just turn over the cuff. But they find at nighttime, they put it on inside his sleep sack, and then they put them up to like kind of like his knee, and he can't kick them off. So this is just with a leftover opal yarn that I'm using that's got blues and grays in it. And again, I think these socks take about 15 grams of yarn, so they're a good way to use up your sock yarn leftovers, and they work up really quickly. So a lot different than knitting their socks for them when they get to be adults. Okay, so should we do another prize?
We should. We've got lots.
So
let's keep going.
Okay, so the next prize is going to be this, and this one was donated to the podcast by Heather.
Oh my gosh, I love the gnomes.
I know. I thought it's so perfect. It's got the gnomes all over it. So this is, again, you could probably fit like a 2 skein project in here. So this is, I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but the gnomes are on the outside. And then this little piece of fabric here is what the inside fabric is of the bag.
Oh, so cute. What a great idea, Heather.
So, and there's your little card down there. So it's kind of like, you can see it will open up. There's about like a 2-inch bottom on the bag. So yeah, I think you could easily get a couple of skeins in there for something, but really cute. And I thought, the gnome theme's been going on. So that's a perfect gnome bag.
Well, I hear Sarah is doing, Sarah Shira from Imagined Landscapes. She's doing an entire year of gnomes. That would be a fun project bag to work out of for the year. Sure. Okay, well, maybe we're not giving this away then. I'm kidding. We are. Okay, so we'll give a minute or so there, and a minute or so there, and then we'll draw that prize. And so if you're I was talking. Go ahead. If you're just joining us, type in the word #KnitChat. Actually, I can't bring it back up because I'll have a winner and I can't go out. No, I'm going to make a banner. We can just keep on the bottom. Okay, chat away. Okay, so it was funny because we were talking at the coffee shop. I was talking with Natalie at the coffee shop on Saturday, and we're already, like, her and I were both going, we're already planning our knits for next Christmas. We're not even out of 2024 yet. So that would actually be a perfect way to get your Christmas for 2025 started. So absolutely. Yeah. It's glad I wasn't the only one. Like, I'm already thinking of, I don't know that I'm going to do gnomes next year for all the kids, but I was watching Alana from, Thank You for Knitting. She's Alana from Black Cat Knitting Company, and she owns Lupine in Auckland. Auckland in New Zealand. Yes. Yep. And she had knit this Santa's laundry line. I'll show a picture of it next week. I didn't put it in here. It's so cute. And I thought I'd have to make 5 of them, but it's got Santa's. I even have that pattern. It's a Susan B. Anderson. It's a free pattern. The one that there's another one. This isn't Susan B. Anderson's. This one it's got his Santa coat, it's got his pants, it's got his long underwear, it's got his mitts, his hat, his scarf, and his socks. So cute. It is so cute. So I might get started on that. It'll be a lot of little knitting, but I mean, the gnomes were a lot of little knitting. Yeah. So, and then I might only have to do one gnome. So yes. Okay. And Lean says, did I see the suggestion? Yes, I did see that. And I am going to look at that, but there's so many things I want to knit. There's just not enough time. So, okay. Well, I think, Alice, it wasn't Mary Maxim. Natalie did say Mary Maxim actually does also have like a laundry line for Mrs. Claus as well as an elf and the Santa. No, this one was, I will put it in next week and show you what it was. Maybe I'll start knitting one before next week. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. So we should go in and draw a prize. Yes. Let's do that. Okay. And then just draw again. Oh, so now we're up to 439 entries. Okay. Lauren Archer. Congratulations, Lauren. Okay, you're marking all these down, right, Kelly? I am. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm lining them up in order on my couch. So congratulations, Lauren.
Okay.
Okay. So I have one other thing that I'm working on that I worked on this week. Will be the only things that I've worked on this week. So I am back to working on my smoked orange cardigan by Tia Coleman. And
so pretty.
There is a picture of the smoked orange. So I am doing mine in the Fiberco. This is Cumbria, and Cumbria is a blend of, let me just find it. It is a blend of Masham, Merino, and Mohair. And this, I am in love with this yarn. It feels amazing. It's got a slight halo to it. This one is more of a DK weight. It's 18 to 20 stitches. So I guess it's a worsted to DK weight. I think that the stuff that you got was fingering, right? Because I do think it comes in fingering as well.
Yes.
So this color is called Nutkin. And here is where I am. Here. Is that like
the stitch definition. It looks so good. I like it.
So there we go. So I still have to do the sleeves and the bands. So I finished all of the body. I think last time I showed it, I was just here. So I finished the back and then I finished the two fronts. It's a V-neck on the front. It's a cropped cardigan. So and then when you get to the top of the band, you actually knit this band that goes across the back. So I've got to actually do some seaming, which is why it got put on hold and I cast on another sweater. So, but I do have to just seam that top shoulder together, but there is a tutorial, so I will get that done. And then you do a band that goes halfway across the neck. And then, so that gives a really nice continuity. You've got this kind of stocking stitch panel that goes up and around before you cast on all your stitches for the ribbed band, but it just gives it a really nice continuity to it. So this pattern is a lot of fun. It's like a cable and sort of like a tiny bobble that you do on a couple of rows. And then it's like a wishbone cable. And the sleeves do get picked up and knit down, even though you're basically reversing the pattern. But I looked at the pictures and it looks fine. I thought it looks fine. I don't want to knit them up and sew it on. So I'm just going to do it the way that the pattern says and picking it up and knitting down. And that'll come to about just the very top of my hip bone. But
yes,
that color is amazing. The color's got so much depth to it. And I think that's the Masham that's in it. And then it's going to have strength from the mohair in it. And you just get that really slight halo from the mohair. So I'm really looking forward to having that done. So,
and Amy says that she knit a riptide in that yarn as well, which would be gorgeous.
Yes.
And someone else was asking if the riptide is a well-written pattern. Short answer to that is yes. Yes, it's a fantastic pattern. I think, for even multiple skill levels, I think her patterns are so well written, and she has tutorials for some of the different stitches and techniques as well that she has a link to in her pattern. Jennifer really knows how to write a pattern, so highly recommend it. I've knit 2 of them now, and then we knit riptide, a scarf. I did gloves. I love the riptide pattern, so we just kept on knitting things. Hat.
I did that. I did the hat. Yep.
So, I didn't do a hat. No. But yes, definitely do that. Okay.
Vivian asked, 1 plate of Nutiden. I believe the plates are roughly 100 grams, but when you buy it, it doesn't always come in a perfect 100 grams. Like if you get a bag of it, it'll have like 300
I think they
grams
sell
in
300
it, but it
or
could
500. Yes.
They do sell 100s too, but
do they?
So they might, they do. I was just on the website looking. So
I think they've changed things, because it used to be that they only sold, like they would have like a big release and then they'd sell, and they sold out really quickly and then it was gone. But I think now they are trying to have a situation where they have some yarn available, like in between those drops, because they have a Patreon program as well. That Patreon members get sort of like a first call on the yarn. Yeah.
So I would say, based on that I've used one whole skein of the Ito,
Mhm.
and I've used about less than 50 grams of the, so I would say it's a light fingering is what the weight is. So I would think like 100 grams would probably have maybe close to 500 yards in it.
Right. And
But remember, because
that's what Marg said too. She said a 100-gram plate is about 500. I think she meant to say yards. She said 500 or 500 yards on 100
Mindy
grams.
says about
says the same
500
thing.
yards on 100 grams. But you have to remember too that every batch of it may not necessarily be the same
No.
fiber composition. Like they use different sheet. Plus, because even though it might be classed as a light fingering, because of the way it is, like it knits differently than what you would just knit a fingering, right? Because it's fluffy, like it's not spun, so it's kind of got thickness to it. So it's really light and airy when you knit it up. So it would be really, I don't even know if, I think it would be hard to knit it like at a stock weight gauge, because I think you'd be pulling.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so.
But I don't know because I haven't tried it for sure. But yeah,
and I think some of the beauty of the Nudiden is its loft, like that airy fabric that it creates. And I think that's, part and parcel of what the yarn is all about.
Axie Knits wants to know what the website is. It's not Nutiden, but if you type in Nutiden yarn into Google search, it will probably bring it up. It's on there.
On a rock air.
On a rock air. Yes.
Yeah.
But I know that I never remember that to type in. So when I was trying to find it, probably this morning, I just typed in Nutiden yarn and it actually brought it up. So
yeah.
Okay. That's all that I've been actively working on. So
okay.
But I do have, someone was asking about Manchalope in here too. I do have some Manchalope. I am going to try it this year. Now I'm all excited about it. I also have what's the Plutalope. I also have some Plutalope.
Yes.
Now, from what I've heard, the Nutiden is supposed to be the softest. I don't know that for a fact. I'm going to try them all this year and I'll let you know what I think, but I'm not probably a good judge because I don't find yarn scratchy.
No, you don't.
So
yeah.
But anyway, I'll see how they knit up and if they feel different. And so Manchalope is from Spain and the Plutalope is from Iceland.
Okay.
So
Annie is saying that she heard that the Plutalope is the itchiest.
I have heard that too, that the Plutalope is the itchiest, because the Plutalope will be most like Let Lope or the Lope yarns, which from the Icelandic sheep, they have that double coat that has the guard hairs and stuff in it. So it's actually very warm, but it is probably a little bit scratchier than some of them. Now, a lot of people say, though, the more that those Icelandic yarns get washed and worn, the more they soften up.
Right.
So, and I mean, I knit a pair of socks last year and Let Lope, and I don't find them scratchy at all. So I find them nice and warm and comfortable.
Okay, let's do another draw.
Okay. So the next draw, okay, let's do it this time for some sock yarn. Okay, so this sock yarn, then we will also put with a little package of note cards. So we'll have this sock yarn, and this was donated to us by Jelaine, and this one is her Sweet 17. So this is actually not sock yarn. It's 100% superfine merino. The color is Hidden Falls. It's absolutely a gorgeous.
It would be a beautiful one skein shawl.
It would be a beautiful one skein shawl. So, and then we'll also have a pack of these note cards that go with it. These are cards that Jacqueline designed for us with just some little nitty sayings on it. Like this one is, that's just ranunculus. The one on the back is, you've been framed. So that was Andrea Mowry's
spring sweater. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then there's another one is, thought you could use a little emotional support chicken. And then the last one was, there's 4 designs in each package. And then the last one was Stephen West's Love When All the Vertices Unite. Okay, so this next prize will be for a pack of the cards and this beautiful skein of Jelaine yarn. So
gorgeous.
So again, if you haven't typed it in, if you have typed it in, you don't have to do it again. But if you haven't typed it in, you can type in #KnitChat and we will draw another winner right now. Okay, so we're up to 459 entries, and we will draw again. Oh, 462. Okay, draw again. I got it. Hit it. Okay, Antonia. So the winner for the Ghislaine yarn and the cards is Antonia. Congratulations, Antonia. That was fun. I like doing all this stuff.
I like giving stuff away. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to win things, but
it's fun to win things, but it's fun to give things away.
It's fun to give things away. Yeah. This is just our little way of saying thank you for joining us for this year. And hopefully you'll stick around and see what we're up to next year too.
Yeah. Well, you have to stick around to find out how the Newton compares to the Plutolopi compares to the Ventilopi.
Right. Yeah. You'll never know the answer to the science experiment if you don't stick around.
That's right. That's right. So okay, so has anybody been looking at what they want to start for? I'm wondering, I didn't do like a Christmas. We're always too busy on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to do a cast on. So
yes,
I never get around to that, but I'm thinking I might want to do like a New Year's Day cast on. So I might have to think about what that might be. Actually, I know what it's going to be because I've already planned my socks for next year. So they're all going to be, next year's socks are all going to be socks by the pattern designer, Ku'ua Coffee, who oftentimes designs patterns for the Sock Madness in March. So my one that I picked that I'm going to do for the first sock that I'm going to do is Albert de Montserf by Ku'ua Coffee. So a picture of that one is
sounds very fancy
here. So it's kind of got like almost like a basket weave cable-y.
Yes,
so I'm
I love that.
Pick up my yarn for it. So this is going to be for one of the guys. I always find it's always good to start off with one of them because it gets one of the bigger socks out of the way.
Absolutely.
But I'm so excited. But I'm going to wait till New Year's because this is going to be for my 2024. Yeah, I think, and you know what? I honestly don't think it's going to be that hard. It's like the pattern looks very rhythmic. But I just think so all too. The texture and the little cables, I just think it looks really, really
and
interesting.
I like the heel too, is a ribbed heel.
Yeah, it just goes down into
very
the heel,
nice.
but not too much or too cabley that it makes it too bulky. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward. I don't know who it's going to be for yet. I was showing Ross pattern today and say, oh, well, I'll start with yours. Do you want this or this? And he'd go, well, I don't know about the rib at the top. And no, I don't know about this. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to knit what I want to knit.
He's getting too picky. He's getting too picky.
That's
Mike
right.
is definitely
so that's
enjoying his socks.
Well, that's
now
good.
He wants more. Yes.
Yes, of course. So that is going to be my New Year's Day cast on. So.
Yes. And Barb's asking, and I think the answer is yes. You're going to do the sock a month again?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Barb is also saying I should try to crochet an emotional support chicken. I might try to crochet a sweater actually, because I've been wanting to, and this might be a great time to do it because I'm pretty confident.
Crochet with your left hand?
I crochet with my left hand, and I'm pretty confident that I can get this stationary. Somebody else suggested.
Well, I think you could get Mike to hold the yarn while you just do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he would. No problem. While we are so we've got a couple of questions about knitting themes next year and knitting Makealong. So why don't we just go in and do that right now?
Okay.
Do we want to do another draw first?
Well, first of all, let's do another draw first. Okay, so again, the next one will be for sock yarn. Okay, so this time we
have over 700 people hanging out with us here in the pajama party too. So thank you if you're in here with us.
Thanks for joining us. So this one actually is a skein of Madeline Tosh, and this is
I love that yarn.
This is her Tosh sock. So Madeline Tosh sock though is 100% wool, but it's got a really high twist in it. This colorway is Horoscope, and again, that's going to come with a little package of the cards. So this, you could knit socks with this, or you could do a one skein shawl. You could do a one skein cowl. You could do a muscle burrow. This would be a great looking muscle burrow, and super warm because it is all wool instead of any of the nylon in it. So for this and this, we're going to go in and draw.
Perfect.
Okay. So, now we're up to 484.
Okay.
Everybody ready? Let's go. Susan McRae. Congratulations,
yay.
Susan. Okay, so that is for the cards and the Madeline Tosh sock yarn.
Okay. Annie mentioned too, if she said that I should make more bags. Annie, that was in the plans. I was actually thinking about that I would get back into doing some bag making this year, and we'll see. Might be a little while, might be stalled, might not be in January, but definitely I was thinking about doing that as well. So, okay.
Okay. So
I have to learn how to use my mouse with my left hand for sure. That's a trick.
Okay, so first of all, we should maybe talk about, we've got some knit-alongs for this year that are finishing up. So maybe we should talk about them first.
I still have those in there. That's what I'll head to.
Okay. So first is our sock knit-along.
This is
Can
crazy.
You do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
2024.
Okay.
There we go.
This was, all you had to do was enter your socks as you finish them. And we draw from the beginning of the year. We draw 2 prizes each month. So when we get to the end of December, we will be drawing 2 prizes for December. One will be a pattern prize from our friend Natalie Sheldon, and the other one will be a sock yarn prize. And then we will also go back again for one last final draw, and we will draw right back to the beginning of January and draw a grand prize winner. So you got, what day is this? This is the 29th. You have 2 days after this. You have 2 days. So get those socks done.
That you haven't entered. And I forgot to look and see, but
it was a lot.
We did break through the 4,000 threshold.
Oh, I think it was like at 42 something. I thought last time I looked. Maybe someone can look for us and see. We should have Ravelry open. I should have done that, but
yeah, I should. I could do that, I guess, while I'm sitting here.
Anyway, so amazing socks in there, and we will be continuing the sock make along because everybody likes to knit socks. We have loved to see this grow from year to year, how the amount of socks that people knit are just growing. And I would love to encourage everybody to try and do a pair a month.
Yes.
Like a pair a month is and then at the end of the year, like they can either be for you and you'll have 12 new pairs of socks, or that's a good start on your gift giving for the holiday season if you've got 12 pair of socks knit. So, and a lot of us, when we go to a lot of yarn festivals, go in there and buy, you'll be like, oh, I got to buy something. So I'm going to buy this skein of sock yarn, or you get drawn in by the colors, but a lot of us have those single skeins of sock yarn. And you know what, even try out some of the commercial sock yarns, because they are amazing. Like a lot of the ones that I knit for the Lord of the Rings ones, because I wanted solid colors, like the Barocco vintage sock. Really affordable.
Yarns. Yes.
It works up beautifully. The Lang sock yarn comes in gorgeous colors.
West Yorkshire
West Yorkshire spinners.
Yes.
And the West Yorkshire spinners, it's not just the solid colors. They have a lot of beautiful self-striping, or not self-striping, self-patterning. We love the opal yarns, the Regia yarns.
Regia yarns, yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's lots of sock yarns out there. And I mean, because I did that last year, I did buy some of the yarn, and I actually fell in love with the Manos del Uruguay. Was it Manos? No.
Yes.
Malabrigo. It was a Malabrigo.
Oh, right.
Yes, the Malabrigo.
I get those three always mixed up. The Manos del Uruguay, Madeline Tosh, and Malabrigo. To me, the three of them all sound the same. Yes.
But the Malabrigo has a new sock yarn. Their original sock yarn didn't have any nylon in it, and they've come out with a new one that does have nylon in it, and I did really like that. So
yeah. So it looks like a few people have posted, and I checked myself. So it's 4,312 posts.
That is amazing, because I think one was like a couple of weeks ago. We were like at 3,800, and we're like, we can do it. We can get to 4,000. And now we're like, yeah.
Well, okay, maybe we should say, could we get to 4,500 by the end of the year? I don't know. That's crazy talk, right? We've only got a few days, but you never know. Lots of people have said that they didn't have something posted. And if you go back, I think it was 2 episodes ago, it's listed anyway.
It's listed on the thing.
Noelle had done a little tutorial about how to post your project and your picture into our Ravelry group. So if you missed that and you have questions, that's a really good one to go back and watch. She does a little tutorial for you.
Yeah. So Victoria says she knitted her first pair of socks this past year in cotton because she's allergic to wool, but they hurt her feet. Victoria, try turning them inside out, because some people have said that the ridges on the reverse stockingette actually hurt their feet, but when they've turned them inside out and have that smooth stockingette part, they found that to be more tolerable. Now, I'm not saying it'll solve the problem, but I would certainly give it a try.
Yeah,
and just see whether it works or not. So, oh, and Darcy says she's dedicated to knitting 12 pair of socks for charity. That's amazing. Yeah, that always is fun too, like to knit stuff for a charity, or I don't know. We like to encourage everybody to knit socks because they're the perfect project to have for on the go, for in the car, for, if you've only got, even if you're traveling and you can't take a lot of stuff, it's always easy to pack in a little skein of sock yarn just to take with you. So,
okay.
So that's the first one.
Oh, okay. Right. I was thinking, okay, let's move on, but no, we still have all of those. So the next one was our Advent along that we did, and that was to basically take some of the pressure off of us until we joined the Nana Gnome Mystery Knit Along. But it was to take the pressure off and get some Advent-y things done ahead of time. So we opened up the finished object thread for that on December 1st, and so you can enter your prizes or enter your projects into there, and enter your prizes. No, that's our job, and enter your projects in there. And on December 31st or shortly thereafter, but we will take them up until December 31st, we will draw a grand prize winner from the finished objects. And then we will announce the Advent winner for the year as well.
Yeah, so January 7th is going to be a big day. There's going to be lots of prizes announced.
There's going to be lots of prizes that day too. Absolutely.
That's right. So,
yes.
Okay, so we should probably do another prize.
Well, okay, talk about the last one.
Okay, we want to talk about the one first. Okay.
And then we'll get rid of this slide.
Okay. Okay.
I think your Prosecco's kicking in.
It might be. Am I talking a lot? Okay. Unselfish Knitter Makealong. So this started October 1st, runs to December 31st. And even you can even still enter this now. You still might be making something that you're going to give away. So you need to make an item that you're going to give away. It can either be to a charity, it can be to a friend, a family member, anybody you want. It's just something that you make that you're giving it away. So the only requirements were that you needed to use a minimum of 50 grams of yarn, and you could enter WIPs as long as they weren't more than 50% finished by October 1st when the CAL started. So you still got a few more days for that one before we finish up, and we will announce that winner on the January 7th Knit Chat.
7th, yeah. Okay.
So we should.
I'm also seeing here in the chat, there's a couple of things. Somebody just asked what the name of the sweater was that we had talked about. It was Sunday Morning Over Easy by the Sondra Yarn Company. And it's a free pattern as well. And then I also saw in the chat, there's a group of people in there chatting now that are talking about getting together in Arizona, that they live there. I go to Sedona often.
Can we come?
Yeah, if there's like people getting together in Arizona, you have to let me know where. I could be there. I could definitely be there for that.
Okay. So for the next prize, so it's also going to be yarn, but this is 50 grams of yarn that I hand spun. So it is a three ply. It's probably about a 50 grams, and that is also going to come with a little pack of cards. So there's probably enough for, like, if you just did a little bit in a yoke or be able to incorporate it somewhere. There'd definitely be enough for fingerless mitts. Whatever you choose to use it in. So there's this 50 gram skein of yarn. It's got the colors in it there's like pinks, there's turquoise, there's kind of like a mauvey color. It's kind of spun so that the colors go together, because I believe I did a 3-ply spin on this. I'll put the details on the card, and it goes along with that. So we should go and draw for that. Okay, so now we have 497 entries.
We're going to get up to 500 yet.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so Victoria. Oh no, Brenda Tillman.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Brenda. Okay. So Kelly, when you can knit, do you have had any plans on anything that you want to start?
Oh, about a dozen sweaters for sure. Don't forget, I have 2 sweaters that all I need to do are sleeves on. So honestly, I think what I'm going to have to do is stay away from some smaller, finer knitting for a little bit until I really get that hand back up and going, even once I do start to knit again. So I think the sweater knitting is going to be where I live, like in a little bit larger gauge, like sport DK kind of thing.
Right.
So definitely that Nudiden sweater was
I was going to say you should try the Nudiden with the mohair, because I'm on a 5mm needle for that.
That's right. And the sweater that I was working on yesterday for Miles that I put a couple of rows in on, that was on a 4mm. So I think anything that's like a 4mm and up is going to be easier. Not so much strain again, like to try to not strain that thumb anymore. I don't know. I don't know when I can start knitting again. That'll be determined.
You don't want to aggravate it to.
I don't want to aggravate
the healing longer.
No, for sure. But anyway. So that's kind of what I was thinking, was definitely some sweaters. And although there are some socks that I really want to knit, I think probably I'm going to have to stay away from the smaller circumference knitting. And that's odd because I don't know if I can reach them or not, but this is another conversation that, we keep having around this. Oh yeah, there they are right on top. We keep going around and around about these 9-inch circulars and what are our favorite, because I like to knit with those 9-inch circulars. I really like to knit with 9-inch circulars, and wondering what is my favorite one. And to date, I stand by it. Still, it is the Haya Steel. So the not so pointy Hayas, because I puncture my finger quite easily because I always push out with my finger. So there was some that I wanted to try. And the last time I was here in Chilliwack, I found them at the Chilliwack Yarn and Craft Supply store, but they didn't have the sizes that I was looking for. Because of course I was looking for the 2.25s and the 2.5s. So they had a big sale after Christmas. And yes, I did buy myself a big bag of yarn. I may not be able to knit with it, but
you can look at it.
I can look at it and I can have fun
hug
shopping.
it.
I can just look at it. Maybe I'll actually get it into my stash and it won't sit in a bin for a year. Maybe I'll actually get that done too. But anyway, so the other ones that I wanted to try, these are the Knitter's Pride Zings and the 9-inch circulars. So I got the 2.25s. And the thing I like about the Zings is when I buy these needle tips, not these ones, these are fixed, but I have bought these as well, and I use them. I can put them. I've got that blue set of needles, the meditation set, and they will go on to those Knitter Pride, because these are Knitter's Pride as well. And what I like about the Zing is I like all the colors. It's just weird. I like having colorful needles. But look,
it's not even just that. It's
gold,
it's like
pink. They're so pretty.
It's easier to differentiate the size that it is, because each size has a different color.
I don't have my needle case. It's over there. But yeah, when I open it up now, because I have sandwiched in all of these other needle tips in with my original set. Maybe I will go and get it. You talk about something. I'll slide over there. It's just behind me on the bed.
Okay. So I actually have one thing that I forgot to show you. This was I think I've shown before, my one son, who is Oliver's dad, he actually does a little bit of weaving, but he does kind of like the tapestry weaving. So he actually made me this for Christmas. So it's like he's got the background is all woven on his little loom with like a dark green thread. And then on top of it, he needle felted the candy cane. So it's like kind of needle felted right into the pattern. And then he puts it on like a really cute like dowel, and I think it turned out really cute.
Who did that? So that's adorable.
Like my son.
Oh wow!
So this is Oliver's dad. So he did this. This is like the background is all woven, because he's got a loom to weave it, and then this is all needle felted on top. So yeah, it turned out really cute. So I don't have the patience to do that, and I can't do another craft. I have weaving for weaving things, but not like a tapestry thing. But yeah, so it's funny because he's getting into like all different kinds of yarn, and he knows like the woolly yarns are better for felting because the acrylics don't really felt. And
yeah, very nice. I like that. I like that. Okay, so this is the set that this is my needle set that I have, Mindful Knitting, and I keep adding needle tips, but I'll just show you. Oh, I started to unzip it, turned it over, and zipped it back up. And this is by Knitter's Pride. So I'll just take out my inside bag. Well, actually, some of my needles are missing because I've used them up, but see all the pretty colors?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. I think they look so pretty. So the kit came with all of these. I think it's this size. The taller ones is what it came with. And then I've been adding in some shorter ones, and then it's my goal to get all of the colors and the sizes that I use as well. And then I just keep stuffing them in extra spots where I have them. But this travels with me all the time. And in it, I have my lovely cord tool like this that I use to attach the cords. Julia made us one as well. And that one stays at home because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose this one either, but this one lives in here. And then of course I've got all of my cords and different things in here. This is a really nice set. I like this little zip case. I like the size of it. And this travels with me everywhere. So.
And Gina asked if my son made this one too. He did make this one behind me too, with the snow and the mountains and the trees. Yes. So I had my candy cane one up, but Ross is already busy taking down all the Christmas decorations. So that's okay. That's okay. He can take them down before I get my pins on, and I don't have to put everything away.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
just a second, Annie, just before we disappear, Annie's asking, what was the little cord thingy? Okay. The little cord thingy. We've talked about these, and I hesitate to show you because you can't get them. We got this at Elgin Networks, and it's just a little, it's a hand tool piece of wood. And then it's got this, the end in it. So when you're attaching the cord to your needles, get out of there. You stick this tool into the cord because it has the hole on the end of it. You put that in there, and then you can screw the needle onto the cord, and then you tighten it with your cord tool. This is probably one of the things that I could not live without in my cord bag, because those little T-pins that they give you are so tiny, and
the difference between
always
what they
missing.
Give you
and the couch is hungry and it eats them.
Right.
So
they're only about this long. They're hard to find if you've got them in something. Like I have the one that Julia made us, and I've got the other one. I've got a couple of different Notion bags, and they're so easy to find in the Notion bag, like to take it out to tighten up your cord. But I know that we had talked about this before, and Victoria, you're right. We had heard a lot of people say that Lantern Moon does have one, but I know that Julia made hers by putting the little tool that comes in either your Chigu cords or any of your cords and kind of embedding it in some Fimo clay. And then you've got a nice, first of all, it's easier to find. And then you've got something more to hold on to when you're actually tightening up your cords.
And Julia did that. She made us each one for last Christmas, I think. She put together a nice little bag, and that was in there. And I really like using that one at home too. So Joanne says, yes, we are quite the pair between us. We have a working set of limbs.
That's right.
We do. That's right. We're definitely codependent now, aren't we?
I know. I was thinking, oh no, if she can't drive, I can't drive. What are we going to do?
I can drive. I only need one hand to drive.
I'll be able to drive in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can drive. So.
It's Fimo clay, Marianne. I think you can just buy it like at Michael's, or it's kind of clay that you mold and then you bake. So, okay. So we should probably talk about what we've decided so far for knit-alongs for next year. And then we've got one last prize to give away for tonight. And then I'll go through kind of some of the ones that we're going to give away for
after
anybody
the
that watches after.
And how to get a hold of us.
And how to get a hold of us.
Collect your prizes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just bring that up. 2025 Makealong slide. Who ever thought we'd be there? I like the ring of that. My favorite number is 5 and multiples of 5. So 2025, I like it. It flows. I like it. Okay.
Okay, so we said when I was talking about the sock make along before, we did say that we were going to continue that because we love seeing the socks. We love having a goal to strive towards. Maybe we should strive for 5,000 pairs in
5,000 pairs.
5,000 for 2025. It's all in the
I
five
think it's
theme.
easy peasy. I think there'll be no problem with this group. And, you know, socks are near and dear to our hearts, and we hope that they become near and dear to yours as well. So yes. Yeah, let's do that.
So the sock make along will be going on for 2025. And then Kelly, you can talk about the next one.
And then the next one, which is from January 1st to March 31st of 2025, is the self brackets, not selfish, knitter make along. And it doesn't just have to be knitting. We call it knitter because, you know, everybody talks about the selfish knitter. You can crochet whatever project that you want to do. So gift knitting is finished. This is time for us to cast on something for ourselves, something that brings us joy. It doesn't necessarily mean, I guess, that you have to keep it. Maybe it is something that you've been wanting to make for somebody to give away. But if this is your selfish way to spend your time,
this is like something
self-care.
it's something that it doesn't necessarily have to be for you. It's something that you really want to knit. So if it's something that is for somebody else, it's not something that you feel obligated to knit. Absolutely. But just something that you really, really want to knit. So that brings you joy while you're knitting it.
Brings you great
all my knitting
joy.
Brings me joy. except for those Nana noses.
Sometimes you get into something, you're like, oh, I've got to get this done. You know, I'm giving this away. I've got to get it done. I've got to get it done. And you have a deadline. This is just something, this is going to be whatever brings you the most joy right now, or self-care.
That's right.
Something that you can just sit down with and go, oh, I am in my happy place.
Like that. I am so enjoying working with that knitted and yarn together. Yes. Like that's all I want to knit. So it's right at the moment bringing me a lot of joy. So
absolutely. And so the only rules that apply for this one is that it has to be a minimum of 50 grams for this project, and there are no whips allowed. So it has to be something that you start January 1st or later, and we will run until March 31st for that.
Yep. Okay. So we have one last prize here. But Kelly, did you buy anything this week?
I bought a bag load of stuff. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'll go through some stuff like super quick because we're over now. But anyway,
I did actually buy some stuff at the Knitting Loft sale, but I don't have it yet. So I'll show it when I
bought there too. Okay.
So,
I just figured, what the heck? If I can't knit it, I might as well buy it. So I'll just go through.
It's two different hobbies, so totally different hobbies.
It absolutely is. So
right now you're concentrating on that one.
And I have to say too, it just seems it gets better and better. Okay. So I've been coming to Chilliwack now for 2 years, and I always stop at the Chilliwack Yarn and Craft Supply store. It's getting better. It's getting so much better. When I started going there was just maybe, I would say, a smaller selection of some of the woollier wools, not as many woolly wools. And that's what I truly like to work with. I mean, I certainly love my fair share of working with things that are easy wash, like the Barocco vintage. So that was actually the first thing I bought. I went in there before Christmas because I had been wearing that green hat every day. And I decided I'll just make another hat while I'm here. Well, I got it wound. That's all I got done. But anyway, so I went back in and I bought
feet. I mean, you didn't have a ball winder. That's a feat in itself.
Right. So no, but Mike was my Swift. And anyway, so I got that. So this, firstly, I'll just show you that. That's the Barocco vintage. And it's this like really deep eggplanty purple. And my goal for this was another hat for myself. Well, didn't get that done, obviously. But anyway, so I started with that. And then while I was in there, I also bought this because Noelle has been showing this off like mad, and I got super jealous, but she had the West Yorkshire spinner in sparkle, and they had only 2 skeins of it. So I thought, I'm scooping up one of those. Anyway, then at the till, she tells me, because I said, so are you going to be open between Christmas and New Year's? Because of course I thought I was going to have the hat done and I'd be looking for something else to work on. Foolish girl. Anyway, will you be open? And she said, oh yes, actually, she says, we're having a big sale. And I'm like, what? Big sale? She goes, yeah. She goes, the whole store is going to be 20% off. And there'll be another table of things that we have to remove from the store, like for whatever reason, some really good deals. And they're 50% off. So I said, okay, I'll be back. So they opened the store on the 27th of December at 10 a.m. And this girl was there at 10:10. And not because I was late, but because I was waiting for other people. They were going over to the bike park. So they said they'd drop me off. So that's when I got the needles. These were 20% off. And then everything else I got was 50% off, because why shop at the 20% when you can get half off? And let me show you, friends, what I got. I'll just do this super quick. So the first thing that I got a bag. I got a whole bag of this. This was the West Yorkshire Spinners. It's their DK. It's called Bo Peep Pure. It is 100% Falkland Islands wool, and it is a gorgeous shade of yellow. And then I also got this on the 50% off table because I really like the way it partnered with it. Look at that.
Oh, that's pretty. Yep.
It looks really good together. And this is the Queensland Rainbow Beach. So it's this one is a sport weight, but I think if I were using this for color work, it's completely fine. And this one is called Aurora Australis, and it's got some beautiful golds and pinks in there. Although I do think I might have this exact color from another time that I've been here shopping at that store, but that's okay because,
hey,
these are good deals. These are too good of a deal. And then this I grabbed because, okay, I've now made 2 pairs of socks for Mike, and he's decided he wants all the pairs. So I was looking for some things. Mike is not, as we've discussed, Mike is not a very bold and patterny sort of guy. He likes things to be simple, muted. And this one, I actually really like the way it feels. This is also Queensland Collection, and it's the Tenderfoot. And this is a really nice, yarn. It's like a cocoa-y brown, like just a very soft brown. And it's called Dark Oak. And I thought he would really like some socks in that. I may jazz it up and give him a colored heel, but that's probably about it. Okay, and then I got a sweaters quantity of this, which I really like. Also, Queensland, it's the Dungaree Fine, spun from recycled jeans. Makes me feel good when I knit with recycled products. We know there's probably about, 5% of recycled product in here, but I don't care. So it's 95% cotton, 5% other fibers. I don't know, zippers, buttons, what else comes on a jeans? Anyway, look at this beautiful blue.
Just color.
And so I am thinking this is definitely a summer top. So I bought 3 skeins of this to do some summer tops. And then, oh, it's a long way down there. I bought this. This looks quite different when it's held, but then I twisted them together and it was fantastic. I love the way these 2 colors play together. So I plan to knit these together into a sweater. And this is the Estelle Yarns DK Heather and the Sandnes Garn Silk Mohair. This is their heavier mohair. So I'm definitely going to get like a heavier sweater out of this. But when you twist these 2 together, they are so beautiful. And I cannot tell you how cheap this was. Like, we're talking $5 a ball, friends. These were such good deals. Got a sweater's quantity of that. And then I went crazy and I got a sweater quantity in the same yarn. Oh, sorry. But okay, another bold color, but picture it together. It gets much softer when it's together. And so this one is a brilliant orange. Now it's not quite as orange as I'm seeing it on camera, but it is a bold orange with like a creamsicle-y orange color. And I think this would be so beautiful together as a sweater. I'm also thinking it would look lovely if I just did a very plain sweater and I trimmed that out in a navy or something like that. And again, these were like super cheap. Had I not been there at 10:10, I'm sure none of this would have been left.
It would have been gone. Yep.
There's more. There's more. Because it was there and it was such a good deal. I got 2 more random skeins of the mohair. And this one is beautiful minty green, the Sandnes Garn mohair. And then this is a gray, because I love the way mohair plays. And I think if I'm giving credit where credit is due, I'm pretty sure it was Tracy that first started knitting the mohair into her socks that I heard of. And then I've made now a couple of pairs with the mohair sock, and I have to say I really do love it. And by the way, Kendall loved the ones that I made her for Christmas. So I thought these are just a couple of colors to throw into stash, some random colors. So that's the bottom of that bag.
Well,
What a good
that's my other New Year's cast on is I want to do a pair of those mohair socks so that I have them to put on after I get the pins taken out of my toes.
That's right. It's like a treat. Lauren, I
So,
did not buy another suitcase, but I may have to order some vacuum seal bags. Anyway, we'll see.
Okay. So
and condiments don't count. You're right, Julia.
No, that's right. Exactly. So I will move on to our last prize for the night, and then I'll go through and show you what's going to be available if you go in after and put in a comment.
Okay.
But for our last prize of the night, we are going to be giving away this sandy bag.
Gorgeous.
So this it's got sheep all over it knitting. It's got on the inside, it's got actually a zippered pocket on the inside that's done in the same fabric as the out. I know. And it's got this gorgeous red fabric on the inside. So beautiful bag. On the bottom, it's got like a vinyl coated bottom so that if you're actually knitting under the bridge, you could actually set it down on the ground. You don't have to worry about it getting wet. So that's going to be our last prize of the evening. So we will go in and just bring this
if you haven't already.
So yes, if you haven't already, quickly type in #KnitChat. And you're right, we're up to 510. So again, and these sheep that are on here are all knitting off another sheep into a sweater. Okay, so we're going to draw this final prize of the evening. And thank you everybody for participating. Good luck to everyone.
Keep saying I'm going to get music and I forget every time.
Okay. Oh, what a perfect,
thank you.
What a perfect ending.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you. So thank you. You are going to win this gorgeous sandy bag. And we need to let you all know how to get in touch with us.
Your prizes, yes.
So you need to email us at.
And it was very nice of Canada Post to resolve their strike so that we can actually get all of these prizes out to you now.
So you need to email us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. And we will need your full name, your mailing address. I don't think if it's just Canada Post now, we don't need a phone number anymore. I don't think. I think it's just your full name.
Outside of Canada, I do need a phone number.
You do? So, okay. So we need your full name, your mailing address, and your phone number. Okay. And we will get those prizes in the mail to you. So congratulations to everybody that was here tonight and entered. I'm going to go through quickly now and show you what we've got for giveaways for anybody that watches after, or if you go in after and put in a comment. So first we've got this gorgeous bag that Kelly made. So that's the sock bag. This one is identical to mine and I love it. It's got like the kind of like the quilting fabric up at the top, but that will be the first prize. The next one is, I'm kind of looking at the order. The next one is another one by Heather from Finch's Nest. This one is gorgeous. It's got like, I don't know, there's some kind of birds, but it's got birds and mushrooms. And you can see this beautiful little aqua colored print up at the top is the inside of the fabric. So that will be another prize. The next one will be this skein of yarn. This is from Ginger Snap, and this is her zest fingering, which is 20%. Sorry, losing my voice here.
Drink more Prosecco.
I don't have any more, which is 80%. 80% merino, 20% nylon. Beautiful. And that will go with a package of cards. So
okay.
We'll show the card up right side up. So that will go together. That will be the next one. And then after that will be this beautiful yarn from Jelaine. And this one is 75% merino, 25% nylon. So this one definitely is a sock yarn. And the colorway is New Phone. Who dis?
Who dis? I don't know.
So that's gorgeous. And that also is with a pack of the cards. So the yarns are all with a package of cards, right? So there's that one. And then the next one is 50 grams of the hand spun, again, along with a pack of cards. And then the very last one is a sandy bag. And this one is in nice springy colors, but again, it's got the sheep all over it. And yeah, it's got gorgeous colors in it. Again, it's got the vinyl bottom, beautiful pocket on the inside. Mm-hmm. And so basically the same prizes that we gave away in the show, those are what we'll be giving away for anybody that enters after. So what do we want them to tell us? Maybe what's going to be your first cast on in 2025?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we want you to do. We want you to go in there, tell us what your first cast on of 2025 is going to be, and you will be in the running for one of those prizes, which we will draw just before the podcast on January 7th. So you have till January 7th at about 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to enter. And we will have those all drawn for you by the time we go live. So,
and I will be back home in Courtright, well, near Sarnia. Yeah, broadcasting out of my own home studio again.
Yeah,
it'll be good to be home. It's been fun to be away, but it's always nice to get home. And we did have a question. Somebody, before we just wrap it up, somebody had asked about the mohair in the socks, how to do that. That was using a DK sock pattern. But if you go into my Ravelry, I have a couple of pairs in there that I've knit with mohair like recently, and I have put clear notes on the pattern details that I followed, so you could go in and check that. We have our names at the bottom of the page here. This is where you can find us. Are socially active on Instagram, and these are our names down below.
Yeah. And if you do have questions or anything that you'd maybe like us to address on the podcast, again, you can direct those to knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. And we will do our best to answer them or try and find an answer for them. But that's probably the best place. It's easy to look at there than to go through comments and find them. So if you do have a question, you can ask us in there.
Mm-hmm. We did have a question. You know what? We didn't do the question and answer thing. Can you quickly address, you use the pellets in the bottom of your Nana.
Yes.
Somebody had mentioned that.
Okay. Like how I did it?
How you did the stuffing.
Okay.
With the pellets.
So in the pattern, she says like when you were knitting down and you had that little bit of kind of the color work around the bottom of her dress, that you kind of stuff to that point, and then you kind of push that down as far as you can, and then put in a layer of the pellets. Like I put in maybe so they would have been about like this, like maybe 1/2 inch all the way around in the pellets. And then I put another layer of the polyfill stuffing. Is it polyfill? That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then you put that on top and then kind of close it all up. So that kind of gave a layer on top of it so that it wasn't right at the bottom of the gnome. And then I just found that gave her kind of enough weight. Like she still can topple, but it gave her enough weight just to kind of made it easier to make her stick.
Yeah.
And the pellets that I got, I had just ordered them on Amazon, and they're, because the gnome is like a fingering weight and the stitches are fairly tight, it's knit on a 2.25 millimeter needle. Those little pellets really can't come through the knitting. If you were knitting maybe like on a 4 millimeter or bigger, there might be enough gaps for them to come through, but at the tighter gauge. And if you were really concerned about it, you could actually put the pellets like maybe in a little piece of nylon or something, just tie it at the top. So.
Okay.
And
lastly, a huge
Happy New Year
and thank you to everybody. We hope 2025 brings you joy and knitting and friendship. And
we hope 2025 is your best year ever.
Best year ever. Yes. And we will see you next year on January. What did you say again? What
7th.
7th. January the 7th.
Yeah. So the first Tuesday in January.
Yes. Yeah. Back to Tuesdays.
Back to
Tuesdays, January 7th. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so take care, everybody. Thank you so much for the support that you've shown us through the year. We love coming here on Tuesday nights and talking with everybody. And we also love all the people that come in and watch us after the fact. And we've made so many wonderful friends through the podcast. And
we're truly blessed.
We are. So we hope you all have an amazing rest of your holidays, a happy new year. Hope you get lots of knitting time in there, and we will see you next year. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting. Mwah.
Yeah. Heart. This is what we always do.
Heart. Okay.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.